"Oh, Dr. Vasudha, your hairstyle looks really nice. Would you like to share something?"
Hi, thank you. So, I want to share with you how the first time I met Dr. Gaurang, and it's a very interesting story because I think it was a seminar that we were at commonly, and he was sitting on the other side of the auditorium. And you know how seminars can be really boring, like a person just standing on stage and talking, asking questions, and everybody's just busy noting down things in the pads and just hearing someone sleeping, half dozing. And there was this person who was just asking random questions. And Dr. Garang, being Dr. Garang, he was just like full of energy, like, yes, yes. And I'm like, wow, like, that is where the energy is emitting in the room from. And it was later that I spoke to him and we started working on the books together. But one thing about this person is that he just radiates energy and like these vibes that just makes you want to do something. Like,
Mm.
even when I go through his books, it is not as if you're reading a text, a theory. It's as if you're having a conversation with him. It's a one-way conversation, of course, but then it's like a story coming your way and talking about his experiences, where he's been, what he's seen. And as a proofreader, honestly, because I've like kind of proofread most of his books, the most difficult part is when he is talking about a story and then the theory comes. So I'm like, okay, now like that is where the text is coming and the transition happening. So to make that smooth is where I kind of struggle the most. These two books have been so special, and I've had a conversation with Dr. Gaurang about it as well, because they made me more like a student than a proofreader. I remember reading the Sarcode book, and the first time Dr. Gaurang told me that we're coming up with a book on Sarcode, and I want you to work on that. And I'm like, haven't you already made a book on Osode and Sarcode? Why are you coming up with another one? I'm like, okay, you read and tell me then. So I went through this book, and there was this case I was struggling with. You know, there was this chronic case of psoriasis that was just at a standstill. It was not improving. And I was going through histamine, and I was like, that moment of ting, like, this works. And that changed my entire case. And that is where I became a student. I read that page again and again and again, opened my case file and went through the entire case that I had. So there's so much to learn, like even as a proofreader, as an editor, anybody who's helping you even make that book, you are a student when you're reading. You never fall short of becoming a student when you're there with his books. And the
Mhm.
same thing went with the tissue salt book, wherein I was struggling with a case of chronic constipation in a kid. And reading about Silesia and Calcarea flora, I'm like, why don't I try this out? And again, it was a game changer. So there's so much to learn at every stage of working around his books. And there are parts where, like, I've told Dr. Gaurang later, like, why don't you write more about this, like in the book, like this is a part that you can write more about, and like extend your knowledge more about this for the readers to be. And I can understand, like there's only so
Mm.
much so that he can impart in one book, so you people need to please tell him to keep on coming up with books and sharing his knowledge with you all, because it's more like a story than a text, which is the case with most of the other books that you read. They don't make you fall asleep.
It's really wonderful what you've said, about the conversation, because they are, you've just hit the nail on the head. They're conversation based, which means you end up remembering the remedies compared to just like, the deep theory that you can go into. It's a very nice path to go in. So yes, genius.
I
Thank
was
you,
just
Vasudha.
thinking,
I'm just
sorry,
yeah, continue.
I'm so sorry. I was just thinking she's talking about ATP when she was talking about you.
But Vasudha,
ATP.
I have to just add, there are I've written a few books, but there are also some books that I tried writing but never got complete. So Vasudha has been patient with me with that also, Dr. Utsav and Jaya know. So sometimes I've sent up books and then I've told her, okay, work on it, and I never ended up making those books. But she was also patient after that. And that's true with Arpana also. Arpana also, sometimes I send one or two books and I never even open the topic discussing about those books. I said, okay, let's keep that on the back burner. Let's work on another book. Sometimes I'll ask Utsav or Jay, okay, okay, this book is there, this, then they will say, sometimes, "Oh, this book is seems more interesting. Let's work on this." So they are all patient people because they know that, for me, I don't decide things. I just go with what is interesting at that moment for us. So these are patient people. So you have to thank them. Thank you, Vasudha.
Definitely. Thank